live from Las Vegas. This is 13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Right now, remembering an American president. All new this morning, the funeral plans for President George H.W. Bush. A Las Vegas native remains missing in the Colorado Rockies right now. New clues coming in this morning as to where Micah Tice may have headed. Plus, Governor Brian Sandoval has a new gig right here in Las Vegas. We have more on his new role. But first, the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah officially starts tonight at sunset. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Also known as the Festival of Lights, the holiday commemorates the victory of the Maccabees over the Syrians around 165 BC. The holiday, of course, lasts 8 nights, and each of them is marked by the lighting of a menorah. Children play with the dreidel, a 4-sided spinning top, and they traditionally receive gifts. The 2018 National Menorah Lighting at the White House takes place this afternoon. Good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Tom George.
And I am meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. We have some nice weather. A cold front moved through yesterday. Did you know that?
Why are you calling it nice? It's too cold.
Oh no, I'm in my turtleneck. I have my big coat with me.
Not about it.
You need to prep for this stuff. And
if I can prep for it, doesn't mean I need to enjoy it.
All right, fine. I'm going to enjoy it. At least I will enjoy telling you about it. How's that? Here's a look at the forecast as we move through the next couple of hours together. There may be a high-level cloud out there right now. 43 degrees is the current temperature. But as we move through the day, all the clouds clear out, if there were any at all in your neighborhood. A lot of sunshine expected today. Noon, 53 degrees, and that's about the warmest we're going to get. Then as we move into 4 o'clock, starting to cool down already, 52 degrees at that time. Moving through the evening, clear sky tonight, we are going to cool down. 8 o'clock, 45 degrees, and the overnight hours, we are going to be at 40 degrees and the upper 30s. So as you start off your work week, the first day of school tomorrow, Monday, it's going to be a chilly one. High temperature today, 55 degrees is what you can expect. Then as we move through the next couple of days together, we dip tomorrow. 52 is the high temperature for your Monday. Then we slide back up to 55 degrees. All of these numbers below average for this time of year. We should be closer to 60 degrees, and we are not. Will we ever get there? No. We will get some rain, though. I'll let you know when that's going to happen coming up in your 7-day forecast a little later. Tom?
Thanks, Gina. Well, now we're getting some details from Neil Bush, the 4th son of George H.W. Bush, when it comes to his father's funeral arrangements after he passed away at the age of 94.
And there's a great plan for Thursday's funeral and for the activities around that. And the mayor is going all out to provide the security and the logistics. And we're really grateful to the city for doing everything, pulling out all the stops to recognize and celebrate this life that was so well lived.
Now, the 41st President of the United States will be brought to Washington, D.C. tomorrow before he's laid to rest in his home state of Texas. Kristen Holmes is in Houston with all the details.
Good morning. Well, we've been talking to people here on the ground in Houston, and it's really hard to find someone whose life wasn't personally impacted by former President George H.W. Bush, whether it be his time as a lawmaker in the area or just an anecdote about running into him at a grocery store. It was clear that he and his wife Barbara's impact here was enormous. And this week is going to be all about, not just for Houstonians, but really for those around the world, honoring that impact.
It will be difficult for leaders, politicians, and everyday Americans to honor the full legacy of George Herbert Walker Bush and his impact on the world. But for the next several days, they will try. The 41st president and war hero will lie in state at the United States Capitol this week, a memorial service at the National Cathedral in Washington to follow. Those in his adopted home state of Texas will also have a chance to pay their respects. A funeral at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston before he's laid to rest at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library in College Station, next to his beloved wife, Barbara.
I'm not mourning, I'm celebrating a life so beautifully well lived. It was a blessing that he did it on his own terms. He was gracious in everything he did in his life, including passing away.
The president's health had slowly faded over the years, and his family and friends were preparing for this moment. But that hasn't made the day any easier for those who knew him best.
President Bush was one of the kindest people I ever knew. You just saw that in so many different ways, the way that they related to people. I will miss that very much.
For the former Navy pilot, congressman, CIA director, special envoy, vice president, and commander-in-chief, it will be a remembrance fit for American political royalty.
And we have learned that in the final hours before he passed, George H.W. Bush was asked if he wanted to go to the hospital. He's been in and out of the hospital since his wife Barbara passed a couple of months ago. And he said no, that he was ready to go be with Barbara and be with Robin, his daughter, who died of leukemia at an early age. Reporting from Houston, I'm Kristen Holmes. Back to you.
Good that they're all reunited now, and we're all hearing George W. Bush, the 43rd president of the United States, also revealing his last words to his father in a phone call. The two, of course, hold a special bond since both served as commander-in-chief. George Jr. telling his dad he was a wonderful father, in which his father simply replied, "I love you too." And President Trump declaring the day of former President Bush's funeral a national day of mourning. All federal offices will be closed out of respect for the 41st president on Wednesday. The last time that happened was former President Gerald Ford's funeral back in 2007. Right now, it's not clear how this will impact things like the U.S. Postal Service and other government services, but we do know the New York Stock Exchange will also be closed on Wednesday. And stay with KTNV for continuing coverage of the death of former President George H.W. Bush. We'll have updates for you on air and online at ktnv.com. And back here in Nevada, services have been announced for Terrible Herbst founder Jerry Herbst. He passed away Tuesday at his home at the age of 80. A funeral service will be held Tuesday, December 4th at Christ Church Episcopal. That's only for friends and family, but a public memorial will be held Thursday, December 6th at the Terrible Herbst Employment Center. That's going to be held from noon to 6 p.m. Right now, volunteer and professional searchers are braving winter weather to search for a young Air Force cadet candidate. 20-year-old Micah Tice is originally from right here in our valley, and he disappeared a week ago. Park visitors say he was seen in the Battle Mountain area last Saturday morning. The search now covering 10 square miles in the Rocky Mountain National Park.
It's extremely critical that we continue to put forth all resources, all efforts available to us.
Micah's family definitely keeping up hope, and they're asking anyone who has been in contact with him in recent weeks to get in touch with them. They need people who are experienced hikers and who have the proper gear to hike out in the snow and the ice up there. If you can help, you can reach out to the Rocky Mountain National Park Search and Rescue Team. Well, now a breaking news update. We're waiting for Metro to release body camera footage of a deadly shooting involving one of their own. It happened yesterday morning near Bruce and Fremont. Police say one of the officers saw a reckless driver around 8 o'clock. The officer stopped the car and asked that driver to exit. That's when the man reportedly reached for something and wouldn't comply with commands. The officer first deployed his taser and then shot him. People living in the area say crime there is becoming all too common.
You know, they take everything. You gotta sit there, okay, and be calm, because they will hurt you.
It happens, and I'm just glad that I didn't see anybody get hit or maybe get caught in the crossfires.
Now, the officer involved is now on paid administrative leave, which is standard procedure in these situations. Metro usually releases their body camera footage within 48 hours of the shooting. And this was the 22nd shooting involving Metro this year. We have an interactive map on our website showing all the shootings involving Las Vegas Valley officers so far this year. You can find that on our website at ktnv.com. Well, Governor Brian Sandoval has a new job lined up. He just announced he'll be joining the faculty of the UNLV Boyd School of Law. It happened during an event at the school celebrating its 20th anniversary. Former Vice President Joe Biden also in attendance. Sandoval says he'll be joining the faculty there next year. Well, it may be a little bit cool outside, but here's something that'll warm your heart. A young man in Henderson putting on an epic holiday light display, all for a good cause. 3 years ago, Evan Leha had the idea to decorate his family's home and invite their neighbors over for the big lights reveal. Well, every year that display has gotten bigger, and so have the crowds.
Every year I say, I'm not going to do this ever again because it's just so much work. But when it's all done, when I see the people here and how much fun they're having and all the little kids, it's just, they enjoy it so much. I'm like, I can't, the feeling's just too great to miss out on it.
And he's just rocking the health outfit too there. He asked his neighbors to bring a donation of some kind, food, clothing, cash, all to help the homeless in Henderson. He says putting on the display is a lot of work, but it's worth it. Well, good morning, everyone. Well, coming up, a couple also decking their halls to the max. Crazy or brilliant? Why this house would impress Chris Kringle himself.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. We have a chilly start to what will be a chilly day. Sun officially comes up at 6:34 this morning, and we will have a lot of sunshine, but don't let it deceive you. I have your full forecast coming up after the break.